Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about CMA final paper number 18, that is indirect tax laws and practice. This is divided in two sections, section A and section B. Section A, advanced indirect tax and practice, and in this section GST is 50%, customs law 20%, foreign trade policy 10%. Section B is tax practice and procedures. On that, case study analysis is 20%. In this case study analysis, questions are also asked from GST. So GST is a substantial portion of paper 18, and so today we are going to discuss about supply, and we will be solving the practical problems also, which will help you in the exams because questions are asked based on supply. So we are going to start with supply. The supply is most important under GST, as if there is no supply, there will not be any GST. So the taxable event under GST is a supply of goods or services or both. It means no supply, no GST. This is the most important thing in GST. So to qualify as a supply, the following 5 parameters should be satisfied. Number 1, supply should be of goods or services. Supply should be made for consideration. Supply should be made in the course or furtherance of business. Supply should be made by a taxable person, and it should be a taxable supply. So these are most important parameters to qualify as a supply. While these parameters describe the concept of supply, under certain circumstances transactions have been deemed as a supply even when made without consideration or not in the course or furtherance of business. So activities specified in schedule 1 are deemed to be supply even when made without consideration and whether or not in the course or furtherance of business. So supply includes sale, barter, transfer, license, rental, lease, disposal, etc. And should be for consideration and should be in the course or furtherance of. The supplies without consideration are specifically mentioned under schedule 1, and there are 4 types of supplies which are deemed to be a supply or deemed supply even when made without consideration. Number 1 is permanent transfer of business assets where ITC is availed. ITC is a input tax credit is availed. So this will be treated as a supply even when made without a consideration. Number 2, supply of goods or services or both between related person or related distinct person as specified under section 25 when made in the course or furtherance of business, provided that gifts not exceeding 50,000 rupees by a employer to an employee will not be treated as a supply of goods or services or both. Number third, supply of goods by a principal to his agent where the agent undertakes to supply such goods on behalf of the principal, or by an agent to his principal where the agent undertakes to receive such goods on behalf of the principal. And the last one is import of services by a person from a related person or from any of his establishment outside India in the course or furtherance of business. So these four activities will be treated as a supply even when made without consideration. Now let us solve the practical problems. First example is CMA Ram, a practicing cost accountant, carries out the activity of accounting, auditing, filing returns, certifying documents, and so on, so forth. These activities can be considered as performed in the course of business. Second one, Mr. Messrs. X Limited, manufacturing of motor cars. Company used to sell more number of cars in southern India. In view of demand in southern India, company intends to establish manufacturing unit in Chennai. Messrs. X Limited appointed Mr. Y as a consultant for searching, evaluating, and sorting places for prospective targets. Finally, company decided to establish unit as Ambattur Industrial Estate, Chennai. Hence, Mr. Y carried out various activities is in the furtherance of business of Messrs. X Limited. Another one, Mr. X sold laptop worth 1 lakh and issued invoice in favor of Mr. Y. Now ownership in laptop transferred to Mr. Y. Such transaction shall be covered in sale. It is a supply of goods and this is leviable to GST. Illegal activity versus prohibited activity under GST. Number one, Mr. T, a thief, has stolen motorbike and sells the motorbike to Mr. Q. It is illegal to steal a motorbike. However, sale of motorbike is considered as a supply of goods and it is liable to be taxed. Number two, Mr. T sold narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances to Mr. Q for rupees 3 lakhs. These goods are prohibited goods. Such activity cannot constitute as a supply and Mr. T is punishable under the law. Mr. X is an official liquidator, provided various services like valuation of assets with the help of valuers, inviting and evaluating the tenders, selling assets, making payment to borrowers, creditors, and so on. Activities of Mr. X are treated as a supply of service and the commission earned by him is subject to GST. Next, Mr. A, being a dealer of furniture, delivered the goods to the branch office of Messrs. X Limited upon direction of Messrs. X Limited head office. The contract to supply furniture is between Mr. A and Messrs. X Limited head office. Mr. A is liable to pay GST on the consideration received from Messrs. X Limited head office. Then goods sent for a demonstration on a returnable basis. Is it a supply? Answer is no. It would not be considered as a supply as there is no transfer of title involved. Mr. A is the owner of Xerox machine He transferred the right to operate the Xerox machine to Mr. B for a consideration of rupees 10,000 per month for 4 months. Hence, ownership of the machine is not transferred. However, the right in the machine is transferred and it is a supply of service liable for GST. Mr. C, practicing cost accountant, provided services to Messrs. A Limited, dealer of laptops. In return, Messrs. A Limited given to Mr. C 2 laptops. Here, two-way supply takes place. Mr. C is making taxable supply of service and Messrs. A Limited is making taxable supply of goods, and tax is payable by both, that is Mr. C and Messrs. A Limited. Mr. X, a dealer in laptops, he supplied a laptop for rupees 40,000 to Mr. Y along with a barter of printer. The value of printer known as the time of supply is 4,000, but the open market value of the laptop is not known. The value of supply of laptop is 44,000 rupees. Hence, Mr. X is liable to pay GST on 44,000 rupees. That means 40,000 rupees is the cost of laptop, and since because of a barter of printer the 4,000 rupees has been reduced from the total supply, however GST will be paid on 40,000 plus 4,000 on total 44,000, and at the same time Mr. Y is also liable to pay GST on rupees 4,000 if he is a registered person. Now Mr. X is a dealer of new cars. He sells new cars for rupees 8,25,000, agrees to reduce by 1,25,000 on surrendering of old car. Mr. Y, who intends to buy a new car worth 8,25,000, agreed to exchange his old car with new car. So under GST law, it will be treated as Mr. Y has made supply of old car to dealer Mr. X, and Mr. X has made supply of new car to Mr. Y. If Mr. Y is registered person, then he will be liable to pay GST on rupees 1,25,000 being the value of the old car, and Mr. X will be liable to pay GST on rupees 8,25,000, that is the entire value of the car, whether Mr. Y is a registered person or not. That means whether buyer is a registered person or not. Mr. X, a developer of information technology software and holder of license. Okay. The license to use software is given to different client for rupees 18 lakhs. Hence, Mr. X is liable to pay GST whether he transfers such right permanently or temporarily, as the case may be. Now next one, a Chennai-based company has been awarded mineral exploration contract for 18 months in respect of specific sites in Mumbai by a Mumbai-based corporation, that is local authority. As a result, Chennai-based company got license to extract mineral exploration for a period of 18 months. Mumbai-based company supplied taxable service. GST is liable to pay by Chennai-based company or license fee paid to a supplier under reverse charge basis. We will discuss separately what is reverse charge. Next one, Mr. A owns a residential building in a prime commercial locality. Large vacant land in the backyard is given on rent 1,80,000 per month to a parking contractor, Mr. B, who has set up a parking facility on the said land. So it will be example of taxable supply of service, and hence Mr. A is liable to pay GST. Another example, Mr. X, the owner of residential building in a commercial locality. So Mr. X is the owner of a residential building in a commercial locality or in the market. Ground floor is given on rent to Mr. Y for a monthly rent of 60,000 rupees. Okay. Mr. Y uses the same as his residence. It is a supply of service. However, specifically exempted from GST, because if any residential or commercial building is given as a residence, it is out of GST. Hence, Mr. X is not liable to pay GST. M Bank Limited given an asset under financial lease to Messrs. N Limited. Repayment of financial lease made by the customer to the bank rupees 80 lakhs, which includes a principal amount of 50 lakhs. So financial leases shall be taxed as supply of service, and Messrs. M Bank Limited is liable to pay GST. Now the last one, disposal. Disposal normally considered as selling of assets when the organization is about to close down and various assets are required to be disposed of. Such transaction will also be considered as supply and it will be liable to tax under GST provided the ITC has been availed on the assets. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. This is supply under GST. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. I will be putting more videos on GST which will help you to prepare for the exam in respect of paper number 18, that is indirect tax laws and practice. Thank you once again.